Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun, dai-chan here, and you're watching the Waifu Files, a series where we discover and celebrate anime by rating their lovely ladies. In this episode, we are doing a cyberpunk special, covering a handful of amazing cyberpunk-themed anime. Specifically, we've got Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the classic Bubblegum Crisis, Alita Battle Angel, and Armitage III. There are obviously more shows worth looking at, such as Ghost in the Shell, but I've decided to save them for other episodes in the future. I'll be giving these waifu 1 to 5 stars, and even if you don't agree with my ratings, hopefully you can appreciate the girls getting the spotlight they deserve. Before we get started, consider buying one of my dai-chan Dakimakura covers from Cuddly Octopus. I made the art myself, and I'm quite proud of it. As an added bonus, here are some cyberpunk projects that are in the works and I'm looking forward to. There's this Chinese animation called Bronze Crazy Horse from Studio Samsara. So far we've only got a small trailer, but it shows off this hot, midriff-bearing robo-girl. Honestly, that's all I need to know. Keep an eye out for this one. I also recently heard of this new game, Eden Genesis, that's a side-scrolling cyberpunk parkour game. It's like Celeste, but sexy, starring Leia, a young cyborg woman who has a degenerative brain condition. In order to survive, she signed up for an experimental cure, which has her sprinting through the city in a sexy crop top. The game has a free demo available on Steam. I'm not being sponsored for either of these projects, but I anticipate both waifu getting 5 stars. I can only hope they live up to my expectations. On to the main content, let's start with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the anime spin-off to Cyberpunk 2077. I don't care much for the game, but this is a solid anime from Studio Trigger, offering up their usual insane visuals. Its story focuses on David Martinez, a poor Latino living in Night City. His mom wants him to live a safe life in high society, but that dream dies along with her in a scuffle between criminals. David's mother left behind a smuggled neuralware implant, which he has installed to begin a career as an edgerunner, or mercenary. That cyberware, the Sandivistan, was meant to be given to an edgerunner named Maine, so David is stuck working under Maine as his crewmate as recompense. Our first waifu, then, is David's mom, Gloria Martinez. In order to provide for her son, Gloria worked tirelessly as an EMT, which occasionally gave her the chance to strip valuable pieces of cyberware from the deceased, which she would then sell on the black market. With these funds, she tried to sponsor David going to a nice school. David, however, saw how hard she was working and tried to save her money by using a jailbroken neurochip, which fried the school's system. His well-meaning effort only cost Gloria more, as she now had to pay the repair costs. On the drive back to their decrepit apartment, Gloria and David got caught between a gang and their target. In the ensuing chaos, Gloria crashed and was ejected from her vehicle. She wasn't considered a valuable client by the trauma team and was only given low-end medical care that ultimately took her life. Even at a discounted rate, the medical debt was enough to force David into a life of crime. I give Gloria 2 stars. She's not my favorite, but I totally respect how hard she worked to survive in this corrupt society. Next up, we've got Lucina Kushinada, an edgerunner working for Maine. On his orders, she deceptively befriends David in order to reclaim the Sandivistan implant. Lucy pretends to take David as her apprentice, and even shares with him a brain dance, or virtual simulation, of walking on the moon. She's not proud of betraying David, and tries to keep him safe when he joins their crew. Life as an edgerunner isn't pretty, but it's all she can do to escape her past. Earlier in life, she and 12 other children were selected to endure dangerous hacking, or netrunner, training for the Arasaka Megacorp. They were forced to dive deep into the net, where many of them were picked off by malicious programs and rogue AI. Hoping to escape Arasaka's grasp, the surviving children used their net running to break out of the facility. Sadly, the kids were gunned down, and only Lucy made it out alive. She found Night City to be a safe haven where Arasaka wouldn't follow her, but it's only a temporary solution. Lucy feels Night City is like a prison, and yearns to one day visit the moon like she does in her brain dance. David becomes her only salvation in this grim place, and while they become lovers, she suffers as he falls down a dark path of cyberpsychosis, brought on by an excess of implants. Still, she loves him, and when she learns Arasaka wants to use David in their new cyber skeleton, she dives around as a netrunner to kill his pursuers. It's not enough to save him, however. Instead, he saves her, and while this allows her to finally bask in the sun's rays from the moon, the outcome is still bittersweet at best. I give Lucy 5 stars. She really deserves better in life, though I could probably say that to everyone in this story. As part of Main's crew, Lucy was mentored by Kiwi, their senior netrunner. She herself was a replacement for their former netrunner Sasha, who was killed during an infiltration job. As a hacker, most of her work is done from the sidelines. While she seems to have a soft spot for Lucy, Kiwi is generally distrustful of others in Night City, looking out for herself above all else. Following this logic, she accepts payment from Faraday, the story's antagonist, in order to sell out David and Lucy. Betraying the crew winds up biting her later, as Faraday has no intention of letting her live. With Faraday betraying her, Kiwi uses her last moments alive to leak Lucy's location to David. I give her 1 star. She is hot, and it's good that she redeemed herself at the last second, but it would have been better to just not do anything worth redeeming in the first place. The previous hacker, Sasha Yakovleva, seems way more appealing. She lost her mom to Biotechnica painkillers, and during a mission to infiltrate Biotechnica, she discovered the company knew these painkillers, Securacine, caused neurodegeneration, and yet they refused to address the issue in the face of huge profits. In Sasha's effort to expose this to the media, she was gunned down by security robots. I give her 3 stars. Hers was a valiant effort, even if it cost her everything. Everyone's favorite loli is Rebecca, a solo mercenary who often teams up with Main's crew when the money's good. She's in the business with her brother Pilar, but when not on the job, the 2 siblings are always at each other's throats. This has led Rebecca to declare she will one day be the one to kill her own brother. Clearly, this is in jest, as when Pilar is actually offed by a cyber psycho, Rebecca goes into a rage trying to avenge him. Moving forward, she wears large cyber hands in his image. Despite her petite frame, Rebecca is a fighter. She is cursed with an unrequited love for David. Even when it's clear David is in love with Lucy, Rebecca continues to show him her affection, acting as his muscle. Among the cast, she spends the most time actually observing David and is able to pick up on all his subtle mannerisms. Even so, she can't offer him comfort or discourage his abuse of cyberware, and is left doing her best to keep him alive with immunosuppressants. Again, for his sake, she puts her life on the line to help rescue Lucy from Arasaka Tower. This ends poorly, as during the battle, she is literally smashed by a fully cybernetic solo named Adam Smasher. I give Rebecca the full 5 stars. It might just be worth playing the game to avenge her, as Smasher is a boss battle. If only the game had such pretty waifu. Less pretty, yet still quite endearing, is Dorio, a veteran edgerunner who serves as Main's right-hand muscle and girlfriend. Obviously, she's tall and imposing, but she's also quite affectionate toward her crewmates, wanting to protect them with her tremendous strength. She even shows that affection physically toward Main, smacking him around as they make love. It seems absurd, but these guys are edgerunners, so I guess I'm not surprised. Seriously, Dorio gets genuinely concerned when Main starts suffering cyberpsychosis. Stubbornly, he refuses to downgrade his implants, forcing her to give her life protecting him during a mission. While trying to calm him down with immunosuppressants, she is shot, causing Main to completely lose his sanity. In the wake of her demise, Main builds a funeral pyre out of explosives, and rather than escaping alive, he ignites himself and his lover. I give Dorio 2 stars. I can appreciate a good muscle mommy, but she takes this one step too far. Still, she's a great character in her own right. Let us shift gears and talk about the 80s anime classic Bubblegum Crisis. It features a ravaged mega Tokyo in the year 2032, where a mega corporation named Gunnm builds humanoid robots, boomers, that can be used for all manner of violent crimes. Tokyo has its own task force, the AD Police, but they often struggle to keep the streets safe. Enter the Night Sabers, a vigilante team made up of young women who fight the boomers using mechanized combat suits. I'll be focusing coverage on my favorite waifu from the original OVA series. There's some minor stuff I skip from this and the sequel Bubblegum Crash. Also, I have zero interest in the later reboot, Bubblegum Crisis 2040. The Night Sabers were founded by the beautiful Celia Stingray. Her father, Dr. Katsuhito Stingray, originally invented the boomers. Sadly, he was murdered by the nefarious Gunnm Corporation, who now use his invention for illegal and military purposes. While Gunnm is able to avoid legal prosecution, Celia refuses to watch as her father's machines go around killing innocent people. As such, she secretly commands the Nightsabers, donning a blue hardsuit to fight rampaging boomers. She's the more serious and cool-headed of the bunch. She funds the Sabers through separate business ventures, such as running a lingerie shop called Silky Doll. In fact, the Sabers' base of operations sits atop her penthouse apartment. She's very much the ideal lady in her elegant mannerisms, which makes it all the more surprising that she kicks ass behind a cybernetic suit. I give her 4 stars. Celia may just be 24 years old, but she carries herself like she's much older. The star of this show, literally, is Priscilla S. Asagiri, a rock singer who moonlights as one of the Nightsabers. In the year 2025, a devastating Kanto earthquake killed her parents. As an orphan, she wound up joining a biker gang and developing a fierce personality. Her boyfriend in the gang was murdered, yet the police deemed his case unimportant. As a result, she has a rebellious attitude, despite her good heart. This makes her ideal as the Nightsabers' main attacker. She's unafraid to leap into the fray, even if it's reckless. She'll keep fighting, even when she can't rely on her suit. Pris is the legendary waifu who opens the series with a bang, performing Konya wa Hurricane on stage while the AD police respond to a renegade boomer. It's the perfect blend of sexy nightlife and dystopian conflict, and to me, is the quintessential cyberpunk set piece. Obviously, that means I'm giving Pris the full 5 stars. If you haven't seen this anime yet, she's your reason to get on it ASAP. Another of the Sabers' reliable fighters is Lina Yamazaki, a 22-year-old aerobics instructor. She wears a green hard suit and offers an athletic precision that Pris lacks. She wanted to pursue a career in professional dancing, but nobody respected her potential until Celia recruited her into the team. Despite her dream, Lina eventually opts to become a stockbroking consultant out of a desire to attain wealth. Nonetheless, she's a team player who helps fight corruption within Mega Tokyo. I give her 3 stars. It is both her dedication to fitness and her warm heart that let her shine. The last member of the Nightsabers is Nene Romanova, the team's technical conductor and hacker. No team's complete without a support geek, right? She's actually a spy, working for both the Nightsabers and the AD police, giving her special access to police intel. Naturally, this is only so that she can better serve Tokyo's citizens and keep them safe. It's a noble endeavor, though she approaches it with a naive optimism that sets her apart from the others. She stands out for being a technophile who enjoys candy and junk food. This also means she's not cut out for frontline combat. While she dons a pink hardsuit, she keeps her distance and fights via electronic warfare. Her main gun is better suited to carving the Nightsaber's signature behind after missions. I give Nene 3 stars. She adds variety to the team, even if she's not my personal favorite. Another absolute bombshell in this anime is Reika Chang, a Chinese-American singer who performs under the alias Vision. Her little sister, Irene Chang, was once engaged to a Gunnm employee who went missing. In the process of looking for him, Irene was murdered by a boomer, prompting Reika to seek revenge on the corporation. This is also her family's goal, as she's the heiress to the Hobang clan, which strives to destroy Gunnm. She's also linked to the American firm Gulf & Bradley, which develops a super boomer designed to outclass Gunnm's machines. Unfortunately, her revenge plot is far too destructive to both herself and the city, so Lina helps convince her to back down and leave things to the Nightsabers. Eventually, Reika accepts this logic and fully embraces her singing career instead. I give her 5 stars. One reason for this is that her art design was a product of Satoshi Urushihara, one of my all-time favorite artists. I promise we'll get to more of his gals in other episodes. Another conflict in this anime focuses on 2 sexoroids, a type of boomer love doll. In a case of designer hell, these girls, Sylvie and Henri, were built to feed on human blood, as it was thought that doing so would make them more lifelike. Forced to serve the men on board Space Station Generos, Sylvie took her friend Henri and escaped to Earth, crash landing near Megatokyo. their escape injured Henri, and so Sylvia resorts to killing people to supply the blood they need to survive. Both girls are dragged into the evil machinations of Largo and wind up dying in the conflict. Pris has no choice but to slay Sylvie in order to stop her mech from self-destructing, and Henri is pierced by an energy blast from Largo. I give both of them 3 stars. They're pretty cool for side characters. One last Bubblegum Crisis gal is Lisa Vanette, an aspiring journalist who aims to expose the truth of the Night Sabers. She's the niece of the AD police chief, Toto, and uses that as leverage to report on the Sabers' activities. Ironically, it is Nene who is assigned to escort Lisa, forcing the Sabers to be extra careful hiding their identities. When the police station is attacked, Lisa is saved by the Night Sabers, and so even though she discovers their identity, she refuses to expose them. She's cute, so I give her 3 stars. The episode she appears in is quite phenomenal to watch. I want to take a moment to touch on the manga series Battle Angel Alita, or Gunnm, which got a pathetically short 2-episode OVA, eclipsed by the live-action film from James Cameron. The story expands far beyond either of these adaptations, and to avoid diving down a rabbit hole, let's just go ahead and cover the basics of Alita herself. In Japanese, her name is actually Gali, a damaged cyborg found rotting in the Salem dump. A cyber physician, Daisuke Ito, discovers her and gives her a brand new cyborg body. Alita awakens with amnesia about her identity, though it seems she does retain the memory of a legendary martial art, Panzerkunst. The world around her is a massive scrapyard, oppressed by the floating city of Salem. Those on the surface resort to cybernetic enhancement, and to survive, bounty hunters called Hunter Warriors are hired to defeat and apprehend criminal cyborgs. Following in Ito's footsteps, Alita becomes a Hunter Warrior, and even participates in the violent sport of motorball. The narrative explores Alita's mysterious backstory, which is uncovered as she encounters new enemies from the scrapyard and from Salem's oppressive structure. She is quite awesome, and I'm inclined to give her 4 stars. While her OVA is badass, you'll need to read the manga for the full experience. Now, the absolute last waifu I want to cover in this video is Naomi Armitage from the retro anime series Armitage III. It takes place in a world where humans from an overpopulated Earth form a rebellion and take refuge on Mars. To terraform the land, they relied on robots, first-generation ones that looked like Terminators. Now, they live with second-generation robots that have a more humanoid shape but are still obviously artificial. Politically, these robots are only accepted when they're subservient to humanity. Ross Syllabus, a newly transferred officer to the Martian Police Department, teams up with our waifu Naomi to investigate the shocking emergence of a third type of robot, a series of androids that are indistinguishable from humans. A mysterious killer is hunting them down, and Naomi takes on this case because she too is a third-type android. This has her searching for her lost father, Dr. Asakura, but when she finds him, the truth is overwhelming. Naomi is an assassin-roid made by Asakura to fight on behalf of Mars. Her kind was a prototype for the Thirds, experimental robots capable of genuine reproduction. The Thirds were meant to integrate with Mars's populace and bolster their declining birth rate, but now they're being persecuted by the government, the people, and their own creators. Despite his own distrust of robots, Ross can't help but fall in love with Armitage, and the two of them fight the military for her right to keep on living. Naomi is a badass babe who strives to prove that androids deserve to live and love. She even becomes a fiercely protective mother. I'm pretty sure you can see why I like Naomi's design, and why I give her 5 stars. Armitage is truly an underrated sci-fi classic you should go look into. With that, I've covered another 16 waifu in this series. Again, these ratings are my subjective opinion, and you're welcome to agree with or debate me in the comments below. Be sure to check out my full Waifu Files playlist for more exciting episodes. See you later!
Thanks for watching.
If you enjoy this channel, help us grow by liking, commenting, sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and
Most of all, smashing that notification bell so you don't miss out on all our anime lore, discussions, and Let's Play content.
you can support us directly through Patreon, Subscribestar, or a YouTube membership, all of which come with benefits like spicy exclusive vids and early access.
As always, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters. VideoGamer75, Dante Pendragon, Stephen Elak, Samuel Gersten, The Nonchalant Ostrich, Otaku Mom, Jens Bauman, Mystic Samurai 1983, Lord Ormagoden, Freebrick, Alexis Yukio Gomez Yamato, Link Pendrago, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Zamas Autonomous, Scout, Yuki Eidos, Crow Kalem, Saul Soto, Tristan Riggin, Major, Caitlin P., Sogai CH, Vladimir Rovna, The Taz 96, Jonathan Padua, Kengo X77, Hersha of E-Rated Hands, Alester Bernadotte, and Akakaze Yume. Thank you all so much.